I'm the happiest Christmas tree. Oh, ho, ho, he. Someone came.
Well, he's happiest Christmas tree because someone bought him and gave him some
got him
water.
off the lot. I know, and
as
saved
opposed
him.
to prison.
No, we can't do it anymore.
I've been
Save the trees. Go today and get them. I'm telling you.
That's Eric Stromer. I'm Cindy Dole. You're listening to Home Wizards, and we thought we would kind of ease our way into Christmas by shopping for a fresh Christmas tree. And I have had mixed feelings this past week because I feel sad that the tree's not going to be around forever, but we're helping to support tree farmers.
We are.
And we know now when you shop for a Christmas tree, don't wait later. It's not like you're going to get a happier, fresher tree. It's just
going to be bundled up in a parking lot and dying.
It's sitting there crying.
We don't mean to bring a downer to the holiday season, but it is dying unless you get it today. If you don't get it today, they're all dying.
So it is. It's almost like, adopt a pet. Some of those commercials that you see that are really depressing.
Sally Struthers and the crying animals.
Yeah, I know, the crying trees. Yeah. But the good news is if you are smart and shop for the tree that you love and bring it home and put it in, you want to make sure that you cut off the base if you're going to cut off the base, right? How many inches think?
Well, you want to give yourself the ability for it to sit in the stand. And then here's something I really have to be emphatic about. You've got to get a substantial stand. If you're going to buy one from the tree lot and it's only going to last you a season and you're just going to throw the stand out with the tree and it's wobbly, what's the point? You might as well spend a couple of extra bucks and get a really good quality stand, and then you can have it forever.
Where do you get a good stand?
You can actually buy them at any of the places you get the tree.
Oh, okay.
Usually the big box stores.
Okay.
But get go for the one that's reusable, not the one they tap into the bottom of the tree itself.
So in other words, not just like that wooden thing that they slap.
Yeah, you want one where you can tighten, and you don't want the plastic base.
Get the metal.
Get the metal, because the plastic is going to bend and crack on you over time. So I really recommend you do that. You're going to be spending maybe $30-$40, something like that, but it's worth it. You'll have it forever.
And basically, you want that little 2-inch little bowl in the base.
That's right. Yeah, and the thing is that water it evaporates and gets sucked up into the tree pretty much every day. Mm-hmm. So you think you fill it once and you're done. That's absolutely not true. You got to keep refilling it over and over again. And I just bring the hose in from the outside, put it in the tree itself, and then I have to rely on my 8-year-old Dusty, who's he's getting pretty good at it so far. I've had experiences where it's like, is it off? He's like, oh, I'm getting orange juice, and the tree's running over onto the living room floor.
Yikes!
But it's awkward to fill the base of a tree because you can't get a pouring device underneath. I find a hose works better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why you're putting the kids to work.
They're
crawling under there, and especially with the ornaments dangling down.
And then they fall off and all that good stuff. So, yeah, I think the hose trick works the best.
So what do you put in your water? Do you put anything in there to keep the
I've
tree
just
happy?
been doing hot water. I do hot water. Yeah, because it kind of melts the sap a bit.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
Because the sap will crust over like a scab on a wound. So if you use hot water, it'll open up that sap, and I think it sucks up a little more effectively. I see you as using maybe some green tea, some antioxidant rich, just to
something.
keep its skin healthy and
or maybe
malleable.
Some coffee. But I have tried the Bleach Method, and I know that there's pros and cons, or at least some people say it's a myth and some people don't like it. But for me, just like any cut flowers I have in the house, it seems to keep the bacteria and that kind of a smelly thing going,
right?
Because the water is just sitting there.
Sure.
And even though it's sucking up the water,
you don't want any stagnant water, do you?
No.
But I don't think you'll get it. I think it's going. It's going up so fast, and especially, we always recommend that you don't put the tree near a heat source or a vent in your house. And if you have to, you may want to cover that one with some plastic and tape off that vent, or shut it if you can. Because the hot air in the dry house during the holiday season with the fireplace going and the heat cranked up is going to dry the tree out double time. So you may want to think about turning that the heat down or taking it away from an area, especially to a sunny window. Sometimes can dry the tree out as well. So if you do have it in front of a window, maybe draw the blinds during the day, and then at night you want to show it off to the neighbors.
That's a good idea. Yeah. And you can basically make your own Christmas tree preservative.
What do you
so,
doing?
I mean,
you're coming up with a compote of some sort.
The idea is to you want to make the water a little more acidic.
Okay.
And it's going to help the plant suck in more water, like you say.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you also want to have a little bit of a disinfectant because, again, that will prevent that stagnant algae moldy fungi thing.
See, I'm not exposed to it. I'm sending in the cannon fodder, my kid. He's exposed to all the environmental pollutants and toxins in the bottom of the tree because he's the one going under, filling it up.
Perfect.
That's all right. He's young. He has healthy lungs.
Right. So the idea is that you would in this little bowl of water, you would put a little bit of bleach, and I know that you love vinegar.
Sure, white vinegar.
Add some vinegar in there, and actually, if you add, or you can use lemon juice, and then you want to have like a little bit of a sugar thing. You can put like some soda, or maybe even some corn syrup, and then here is the trick: you put a penny in the solution, and the penny, the copper, also acts as a reduction of acid, and it's going to help to have the tree to suck up more of the water.
Oh, wow, okay. That's good to know.
So you're going to feed the tree, and you're also going to give it a little money. You're going to put a little penny in there.
The gift of money.
And now Santa might go in and take. No, he won't take the penny.
He might.
That'd be awful.
Hey, can I back up 1 second? Mm-hmm. So when you're having the tree put on the car from the lot,
I know. I always feel sad about that.
Let's talk about that.
It's like wind blowing and drying.
But
out.
You want to put it so that the trunk of the tree is facing forward.
Okay.
Because, the branches kind of come up at an angle.
Uh-huh.
So if you have the trunk facing forward, it's going to blow in the direction to keep the form of the tree the way it should be.
But what about dehydration?
Nah, it won't be a problem on the way home. Just a couple of minutes.
I just
feel
a quick
like it's
trip.
Going... Unless you're going across country with a thing.
It's getting parched. I worry about it getting...
Put a little chapstick on it. The other thing, too...
What about a wet towel? I was thinking put a wet towel.
I think it might be overkill. You probably don't need to do it. But here's the other thing that's really important.
I'm really worried about these trees.
Don't be afraid.
Okay.
It's going to be fine. When you pull the tree off the car, I want you to carry the tree into the house with the same direction orientation so that the trunk is going in toward your house. So when you come through the front door, if the branches do hit the side of the casing, it'll be fine. It won't pull the branches back and stretch them out the wrong way.
So lead with the trunk.
Lead with the trunk, and when you take it out, when you're done with it, lead with the trunk, obviously, also, just to get it in and out of the doors. Okay. And then keep in mind that you're going to have a ton of needles when you bring it in, and especially when you take it out. So just be prepared to sweep. And I find that the sweeping or the dry mop works the best for the fallen pine needles.
What about a shop vac?
Shop vac's great if you're not afraid of the thing clogging up on you. If it's not a powerful shop vac, then I would say sweep first and then shop vac.
What about your leaf blower?
Don't even get me started. That thing is bad.
Yeah,
that's something else. My kids. I actually walk through the house with the gas blowing out of that thing to get the leaves from the front door out. I'm standing there blowing exhaust into the house. I love the thing so much. Yeah.
But so seriously, try this recipe, and we'll put it up on the website. It's basically you want to have a little bit of the sweetness, you want a little bit of the acidity, so that the combination will allow the tree to bring the water into the tree itself.
Okay, all right,
and then you want to so that the lemon juice is good, a little bit of bleach. It also will cut the bacteria, and then just a splash of corn syrup or some kind of a soda. Because by the way, that will also help it keep its needles.
Really,
so you won't have
that's
as
good
much
to know.
needle loss.
Boy, I get a lot of drop.
Yeah, so
in the tree game we call it needle drop.
Needle drop. So exactly. So you want it to lose its hair, basically.
No, you don't.
So you want to put. So don't forget about the Rogaine, but instead a teaspoon of maybe some corn syrup. And this is going to really help you. I think have your fresh cut tree look fresh and be fresh longer.
Great.
So, and like you say, how to take it home is really important.
And how to carry it is important too. And I want you to think about this. There's a balance point on the tree when you're holding it. And it's usually closer to the bottom of the tree. So if you can reach in through all the branches and hold the trunk in two locations, like you're carrying a pipe, essentially, it's going to make it so much easier to carry. You can really handle a tremendous amount more weight if you've got the balance point, the center fulcrum of where the tree would pivot one way or another. If you find that spot, it'll carry much easier. And usually one adult can bring in a big 8-foot tree.
Really?
Yeah. If you do it the right way, yes. If it's balanced.
I want to get a picture of that.
I'll show you.
Yeah. And make sure, too, that, as you're bringing your tree in, to check for your electrical cord lights, that they are all safe. You know what I mean? Before you... Because now
don't get those little lamp cords. You want the big, beefy, green extension cords that they sell around the holiday season because they can handle more amperage.
And they have to be UL approved.
There you go.
Because some of these from overseas...
they just start to fizzle on you, and then
they can cause a fire.
That's right.
So and make sure that as the tree is going on through the season that you are watching it, you're watering it all the time, right? And take it down before it dries out. A lot of times people keep it lingering. They like to keep the tree up through New Year's, right? And sometimes it may not be happy through that period, and you might need to. You see it a lot of times in offices where there's or in a bank, and the tree that's been put up by professionals.
In June, you see it still. Yeah.
It's not looking great, and you feel sad about that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we will put all these tips up on the website because it's all about making sure you pick the right kind of tree. And then also, here's a great idea, by the way. Gradually introduce your living tree from outside to the inside over about 4 days by putting it in an enclosed porch.
Oh.
That's another idea to do, right?
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise it could kind of shock it, and it'll help it.
That's great to know.
Yeah. Anyway, we have more ideas for you to help you enjoy the holidays and improve the spaces you call home. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole, you're listening to Home Wizards.
Even a plant with no uncle or aunt shouldn't spend Christmas Day by himself.